Hello, Alex.
Hello, Yanis.
So we have Jay Yang, I believe that's how you name him. He asked us a question. How you make money, plans for the future, insurance, etc. So let's do a money episode.
Yeah.
How do we make money? We go to bank with a big mask and we, we take the money and then we run away. Okay. How do you make money, Alex? What have changed since you've gone like full-time creative freelance, whatever?
I think that in terms of percentages, so I would say like 80% right now, it's selling services. So either like writing services or content creation services, stuff like that. Then probably like 10% is kind of consulting. So I've started to do like some random consulting here and there. And then the remaining 10% is like digital products and things like that. I think, yeah, 80, 10, 10. I think that more or less that's the thing. But I'm also like right now I'm starting to monetize my newsletter too. So I don't know where I would fit that. Maybe like on selling digital products. I don't know. But I would say that's the thing. And my goal, my future plan is to reduce the service part at least to like a 30 or 40%. And because I had and maybe you can tell me how you feel about this, but I spoke the other day with Josh Spector. I don't know if you know who it is. Like he writes For the Interested newsletter.
I think I've heard of him, but I don't really know.
Yeah, and he basically was telling me about like more or less like his revenues, like his like the same, how he makes money and so on. And then he told me like this concept of there is like the non-scalable revenue, and then there is the scalable revenue. Like non-scalable revenue is the one that's limited by your time, which is basically selling services, selling your time. And then the the scalable thing, which is like digital products, like sponsorships, stuff like that, which is way more scalable. So he was aiming to do like a 50-50 kind of thing. So that would be my aim to, like 50-50 or even like 30, I don't know, 30-40 versus 60-70. So that's how I see it. I don't know how about you. What's your like split? What's your money making split?
But just for you, everything started with freelance, right?
Yes, yes. And still is like, as I said, like 75-80% it's still freelancing. So it's a huge part.
And what's your insurance deal? Do you have insurance? What's the like? How's the rules in Spain? Do you really need it, or the medicine is not that expensive, or how do you?
So here in Spain we have well, there's two things. Obviously, that is free healthcare, so it's free for everyone basically. The only thing that it's like super busy, let's say. So if you want to go to the doctor's appointment or whatever, you probably need to wait like for 2 months or 3. But on the flip side, it's free, so you don't need to pay anything. Yeah, you can get like basically any type of treatment and you don't need to pay, which is great for most of the population, right? And then I have like a family kind of insurance thing, but it's also with my mother and my grandma, so it's like kind of family thing. So I don't really know how much we pay for that, but it's not like anything crazy, it's not like, I don't know, it's not like 20,000 euros a year or something. It's nothing like that. So yeah, that's how it works more or less in Spain.
Okay. Yeah. Well, for me, it's similar. It's kind of, it's not the healthcare is not that expensive. I think I want to have insurance at some point or time, but for now, don't really feel the need that much. But probably something that should be conscious about. But I guess if somebody is listening, like from USA and so on, I think there it's just mental crazy expensive.
It's crazy.
So it's a completely different game there. So it's just, yeah, it's very, I think depends where do you live and what's the deal there. Yeah. And about like the money stuff for me, of course, everything started as well with freelance. Now most of the income comes from course sales.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't really pay that much. I'm not sure about like the split or whatever, but if like since I went full-time as a creator, I think the split is probably 40% income comes
Nice.
from freelance and 60 probably from like product sales, which is a very nice
It's
place
great.
to
It
be.
is.
Yeah. And I would like to, by the end of this year, I would like to cut off freelance completely. What I've now am trying to do and thinking about, you probably need to just the prices and figure out like a good how to position consulting, because that's something which probably I would like to do if I can like get decent amount of money. I don't want to do a lot of consulting, but just the aspect that I can like jump on a call, have a good conversation for an hour and get 500 400 bucks. It would be really great. It would be really nice. So that's something I plan to implement. And of course, there are plans for more products. I have idea for another course, which I would like to release during this year. I can even like say what the idea is about. Like currently I have my like explain ideas visually course, which basically came that a lot of people ask me, hey, how do you do this? How do you think about it, etc., etc. So I just kind of responded to the demand, and that course is for sale, doing well. And another one which I want to create, not that many people have asked me for this, but like one of my kind of goals, one of the things I'm trying to do is just, I would like, with my work, I would like to bring more people into like creative economy, get them curious about personal development. Those two things, like getting into personal development and getting into like creative economy, were like two tremendously life-changing experiences for me. And like I've kind of figured out, that the things I do here, I'm very happy with what I do. And one of the things I could do is just bring more people into this industry, because I believe it's like super helpful, and I'm in a very happy place. And so like another course which I would like to do by the end of the year is, it would be a very low priced course, and it would be very simple, but it would be basically like, almost like 0 to 1 in creator economy or whatever. But the idea is behind that course is, I have loads of friends which I could basically just send that course, and some people ask me, how do you, Giannis, dude, how do you even, and I understand, they don't even grasp the concept of this creator economy and the social media and how to use it, leverage it, and so on. So basically with that course, I would like, when I give it to you, you have zero knowledge about creator economy or everything, and you kind of, we set up your socials, you start to understand the fundamentals behind all of this thing, you understand where you could go with this, what are directions, what are the options, how this works, what's a scam, what's not a scam, and just give your your baby steps into creative economy. So that's kind of the goal, because I would like to have this course, that I could just give it away to some good friends which want to do something like this, or that could sell for maybe 50 or maybe 100 bucks. I don't know how much time it will take. I want to, of course, make it good, but that's the idea. I want to do this year. Plus another plan which I have in terms of products. I was thinking about selling merch, because some people are asking for canvas and stuff like that, but I don't want to do any printful integrations, and I don't want actually to sell canvas. It feels too much work. I don't want to deal with physical things for now at all. One thing which I like, there is this visual financial creator guy called Behavior Gap, and he has this sketch store on his shop where basically you pay, I don't know how much he sells. Maybe he don't sell, maybe he sell, I have no idea, but he sells his visuals, just the big digital files that basically gives you permission, to use them in presentation or whatever. I'm not sure what's exactly his like copywriting license, and you can buy them for 100 bucks. I think the route which I want to go, because I don't want to upload like every single, visual which I like and try to sell it. But sometimes there are companies or people who ask me, who want to do some prints, for the office or something. Then they ask, and it's just this back and forward conversation, which I whatever, not important. But what I want to do is create these visual packages, which would be basically, I could figure out, a dream package, you know, and then there's like 10 visuals, which is about like chasing dreams or around that theme.
By
And then there
topic.
could be like procrastination package. And then there are
I
10
like it.
visuals, and it would be, you get the digital assets in big files. So you can, and I would like do a quick recording because it's so easy. You can just go in Printful, pick out the canvas, whatever. Do you want posters? Do you want canvas? What size do you want? You know, do them on your own, you know, give it to your company, whatever, intern, you know, just to order these posters. And from me, you know, buy this package for, I don't know, $80, $100. I will figure out the price, and you kind of, that's what you get. And then I would also, because it's not hard for me to do, I would make like desktop backgrounds and phone backgrounds. And you get like this package with these 10 visuals, like the big file for printing. Then you get this phone background and desktop background. And as well, I was thinking, you know, with that package, maybe it gives you permission, you know, even to use it on social media without crediting me. But that would be kind of heads up, because, you know, people will call you out, hey, you're using Giannis visual, you know, without crediting me. But I don't know, I'm just thinking about that. But that would be a nice way for, you know, if company reaches out to me, you know, hey, go, there are these packages, you know, maybe they buy like 3 packages, you know, do their own prints. I don't care, but it's just a passive money that I would get, and I really do it once, and it's there for sale.
I think it's a good idea. I think that's a really good idea, and has more potential that it may seem like on a first, you know, like on a first level. So it's super interesting.
We'll see. And sometimes people ask me like kind of the permission to use them in like their slides or whatever, their presentations. I usually say, yeah, of course, like do it, just like credit me or mention it something, and that's fine. But this would be like a nice way, you know, you have the big resolution and you can use without credit and so on.
I was going to say, like, because you mentioned slides, there is like a huge market on like making slides, you know, and it doesn't seem like it, but there is a huge market on like making slides.
How do you know that?
Because first there is there's a person here in Spain, and I need to research the website, but they basically sell you know, PowerPoint slides basically, but they were making like crazy money, you know, like apparently like there is so many people that they don't know, or either they don't know how to do the slides, or they don't want to, you know. It actually takes time, you know. When I was back in the agency, I need to do like client presentations all the time, and I had templates, but I had always to be like, you know, like putting things together here and there, and it was super annoying. It was like, you know, it was wasting my time. So if I can pay, I don't know, $50 for you know, pre-made slide, that's it, you know. So that's a huge market. But the thing with you and with your visuals and so on is like, you know, your visuals explain ideas. So I don't know how to integrate both worlds, but if there is something there, then that's potentially like a really interesting business too. But I don't know if, you know, we will need to research and find like what's the best way to integrate both worlds, but definitely something there.
Yeah, probably there's loads of like, and now I don't remember, but sometimes I somehow dug up such weird ass business ideas, and like, oh my god, there's like a huge, like, you know, almost like $1 million business in this weird ass niche, which is like crazy niche, and you never like thought about it. But yeah, that's a good point.
It's cool that you are like, so like your percentages are like that already, you know. That's super cool that you managed to do that.
Yeah, the course really was really kicking off. It was really doing really well. I think one of the things why it was like, one of the things was that people were asking me, and I think one leveraging point which really worked out well was that you don't need a design background, because I really don't have a design background apart of just doing some random things. And I think people really resonated, because most people have this limiting belief, and it's just a limiting belief. You can like, you can understand the basics in a week. It's just more about shaking off that belief and just going for it. And yeah, and I have this like, I think I've shared on another episode, but I find it very interesting. If you want to be like and work as a designer or whatever, it's such an interesting path that you can go, you know. You can learn design, and then like probably, you know, struggle to get work because there are loads of designers. Or you can like learn to explain ideas visually and start even, you know, with shitty visuals and get like freelance gigs and stuff like that, and then slowly transition into a good designer. And I think it's a more profitable path to go, because there's just not that many of us. And freelance, you know, sometimes freelance is hard, you know. There are good clients and there are clients which is a bit pain in the ass, and it's a bit hard and so on. So it's not like everybody of course wants to productize their stuff and so on. So yeah,
And
by
what
the way,
about?
yeah.
No, yeah, tell me.
Yeah, by the way, I canceled the cohort that I planned to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I decided that I don't want to do it because like in general, I didn't. So for the context, I had a cohort open up in Maven, which was like very
Mhm.
similar to the course I currently have, which was like, we will create like 21 viral-worthy visuals in 21 days, which would be basically just, we would make visuals together and just, yeah, it would be more accountability and maybe more structure and a bit more like kind of interesting and live and interactive and more feedback and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of canceled. I got like 2 sales for it. And then there was some prospects, and I kind of one day I launched a bit of marketing in like LinkedIn and Twitter, but soon after I kind of pulled it down because I understood, I started to doubt that I will get the amount of people that I would like to have for commit to this, because I know it will be a lot of work, it will be quite a lot of stress and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it felt like, because I have this self-paced course, a lot of people really opted in for that option. And I was kind of, I'm not sure I want to do and waste this marketing effort, because, I don't want to market my course like all the time. I was not sure I want to market it and redirect to the Maven course, which was like more priced, more expensive. And a lot of people, like the conversion rate probably is a lot lower than my self-paced course.
Yeah.
So I thought, like, because in general, I wanted to do a cohort course, and maybe next year I will do like one idea is I could do it. I could mix my 2 courses together, which would be,
exactly.
that basic thing with the creator stuff. Or I had an idea that I could figure out how to target and make a compelling case for companies and startups, because there's just obviously more money at the table, and that would be maybe an interesting way to go, or just to combine those 2 courses as well. And by end of next year or mid next year, my audience would be probably significantly bigger, and there might be more, it would just make more sense to do it. And then currently
totally.
kind of Maven just kind of pushed me a bit, to do it. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, let's do it. And it was good. They're really great. And I learned a lot. But yeah, I said, whatever, let's put it on waiting list right now. So I'm just refunding the money, and I cancel that one.
Yeah, I think it's smart. Because as you said, it's going to be a lot of work and probably not worth it at this stage, as you said. So I think it's the right decision.
And it's summer, on chill.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, maybe during winter.
And what about, like, because I think you mentioned, I don't know, maybe this episode is going a bit too long, but I think it's interesting to talk about this stuff. You mentioned like a long time ago, like doing a book or something like that. So how is that? Is that project like paused for now, or maybe you don't want to do it anymore?
Good question. No, I definitely want to do it, the book, but I think I'm definitely in no rush with it currently. Like, one thing which I'm currently building, I'm actually moving all my infrastructure away from Squarespace and making it more complicated in WordPress, ConvertKit. I probably will move to Mighty Networks, similar as Visualize Value and some other stuff. Because I really want to focus on newsletter and blog. I want to make it more like evergreen, so there's, the case, how I look at it is like, for example, when I seek some marketing inspiration, I go marketingexamples.com, because I know like Harry makes flipping good stuff. It's just amazing what he's doing. And it's like, I would like to build a blog where people have similar feelings, when they want to be creatives or just seek some inspiration, or just they are feeling down, they would go, to my blog and just read some articles. They are short, they're snappy, they're interesting. That's something I want to make. And that's kind of to force myself to do a bit more like writing as well, and learn that craft as well. And this would probably, it's not like there's a big plan, but I believe if I will really commit to this and I will do it in a couple of years, I'll have a pretty good understanding to actually make a compelling maybe book and so on. So
got it.
So yeah, and then, the audience will be bigger, then you make like a bigger launch and all that sort of stuff. For now, it really makes sense to grow audience. And if the courses are doing well, do maybe consulting and build some other products, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my plan, my roadmap vague roadmap, but that's the idea.
That's the thing. Like sometimes I feel like we want, at least for me, like we want to do like everything like now, and we need to realize that we are playing like at least I plan to play like a really long game with this. So I don't need to. I want to write the book too, but I don't need to release it to like this year. Like if I release it in 5 years, it's probably going to be like a better written book, and also I will have like a way bigger platform, hopefully, to distribute it to. So it's just like patience is an advantage here.
Yeah, and I think especially if you want to make, I think, physical book, I think it's so much work that I think there is really that effort that can go into book. It's much probably smarter, to build a blog, build newsletter, like use that content elsewhere and really build up to that. Because, look at James Clear and all like the giants, it's pretty much the blog rewritten, restructured, whatever. And while he wrote those blog posts, he built an audience of like millions of followers. And that's one of the big reasons why it's a massive bestseller, So I think it's not that, especially in our case where we are on socials, we are enjoying this stuff. It's really, I don't think it makes sense to go in woods in a cabinet and try to write some crazy ass book in a couple of months.
Yeah, that's true.
Some enjoy it, but I think it's not the path for us, because we are really doing all this stuff and we love to be online and doing and talking and whatnot. So and 100%. Glad you are playing super long ass game. I'm
always
here for that as well. Yep. Okay, that's the money episode. Any other? Do we cover? I think we covered everything, but usually start with freelance, sprinkling some products.
I think that's the
Have you quick question to you, because I think it more like kind of relates. Have you thought about building some SaaS products at some point in time?
Yes, I think I would like to do it, but I more like an experiment than making it become like my main thing. And there's a few reasons for it, but for example, if I need to do like a SaaS product, I need to partner with someone technological, obviously, because I have like zero tech skills. I can be like marketing guy and like kind of content guy or whatever, but I cannot be like technical person.
Yeah, but you can definitely probably drive a lot of decisions in terms of like UX and the product itself, because like you're doing it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, but I would like to just give it a try, but I don't know. It's not like in my short-term plans right now, but probably like mid-term, yes. But I would like to. I will have to think like really about what to do, because
I'm definitely not planning about it, but I believe it might be something that might happen, in future, if you just get maybe bored with the stuff you do and so on. And I was asking because there was this interesting idea. I remember in My First Million, the guys covered it together with Nathan Berry, who is like who built ConvertKit, and he had this like blog post which was very popular, and it was like, who's the billion dollar creator or whatnot. And then they kind of talked about this process, and he said like, who are the $1 billion creators or whatever. And he mentioned like interesting this concept, about like Conor McGregor, who's like mixed martial artist, but actually he makes like zero money there. All the money comes from whiskey, whatever, whatnot. He builds these products on top of his like crazy ass personal brand, almost like content machine. And then he said like, he's $1 billion thing is the building the ConvertKit, because essentially he was a blogger. He has like blog massive, like loads of articles and whatnot. So there's this interesting trend where a lot of creators build these products on top of it. And it's not something I really want to do. It's not kinda for now, I think, but who knows? It's interesting that a lot of
it's super interesting. And the more this creator economy thing is growing, the more power creators have. So that's why I think it's super interesting. And the more it will be, I mean, I don't know, it's an advantage, like just having an audience is an advantage, and it gives you options. That's the best thing, it gives you many options to what you do. You want to build a SaaS, then just do it. You want to start a whiskey brand, and it's easier to do with an audience. You want to, I don't know, whatever you want.
Everything becomes so much easier when you have an audience.
There's a lot of options.
Yeah, that's very true. I guess the one thing which sounds compelling to me is, for now, I believe, I really could do this for like the rest of my life, because I'm like learning, I'm making visuals, which I love to do. And it's like making those learnings more, I understand them better when I visualize them, because I've really thought about them and figure out how I could represent them. I really feel that that's something I could do like for the rest of my life. But I believe like if you build this separate brand, it's probably something that could go on, without you, if you want to take like a super long break or whatever. Because being a content creator, you start to kind of realize that it's very hard to take kind of long breaks. It's a very nice lifestyle, but it feels like if you stop, your income just drops down as well.
Yeah, unless you hire a team, right? You see, like the biggest, like the super huge creators do that, right? They hire a team and so on. But I don't see myself doing that in the short term. But you never know in the long term,
Yeah, me neither. I really like
I prefer to do it myself. Yeah, I'm having fun doing it.
So. And I think like I'm at least now I'm not aspiring to make like crazy amount of money. There is like some sort of goal which I have where I would like to get, and I really believe that I can get there like pretty much alone, with maybe some sort of mystical freelance or something. Because look at Jack Butcher. He's running his business with his wife together, and they're making like around 1 million in revenue a year, which is pretty good.
I mean, that's more than enough to live a very comfortable life.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I would, at least now, I think I would not have this desire, I need to get like 3 and 5 million and whatnot, and just you scale up to that. To me, like the lifestyle is a lot higher priority than making shitload of money, which you don't end up not knowing how to spend anyhow. Okay, good episode. Cool. I think these were long ones, but good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll wrap it up.
Okay.